So, the guys who would like to learn more and investigate and get really knowledgeable about business innovation, I got some recommendations for you on some great books that you can really read. Now, you don't have to read them all, but if you pick just one, you're going to get a little more knowledgeable about entrepreneurship and lean startup, design thinking, and business model innovation. So the first book I want to talk about is, Business Model Generation. Oh boy, we got this great seller, big seller. Over 1 million copies. This is the first book that Osterwalder and Pinnier actually published. This is what got them the fame and claim for the tools of business innovation. So this whole book is about how do you generate, think about, design, and really look at business model patterns. Remember the patterns that we prototyped together? Yep. So great reading for you. Now, they did have a sequel, and that sequel was Value Proposition Design. So great book, second book. And this one really brought together the understanding of how you design good value propositions with a value map and the customer profile, the jobs, the pains, and the gains. So this whole book is about the method and how do you design this, how do you test this. A little bit of a lean startup here, which is really nice, done with Steve Blank and others. And then the other side of it is bad value proposition design. Okay, great book. Now let's talk about another great book that followed up with this. Oh my God, we got this yellow guy, Better Business Design. So Designing Better Businesses is a book compiled by practitioners. Actually, Patrick van der Pijl, who was the first producer of Business Model Generation, decided he's going to have his own version as well. Okay, so he got together with his teammates and they collected cases and tools that they use. And it's really practical, so I do recommend this book because it kind of falls in a lot of the things that were happening in the other books. So you get your pick. But if you're going in another direction, you may want to consider this guy, Business Model Navigator. Now, I love Business Model Navigator because also comes from Switzerland. As I said, chocolate and cheese. But other than this, it's a great book for whoever wants to specialize in the kitchen of business model patterns. So if you're looking for 55 different successful business model patterns, such as the add-on, the low cost, the direct sale, and other kinds of patterns in this world, this is my secret sauce and recipe when I start cooking business models, chefing with clients. So if you're interested in the back end of my kitchen, you may want to consider this book. Now it's getting a little heavy here, but we have to show you another one. So the next books are Eric Ries. Oh my God, you can't go to work without this guy. Eric Ries, the great disciple of Steve Blank, the guy who really kind of took Lean Startup 2 steps ahead. And what you're seeing here, okay, this is the bestseller of Eric Ries, Lean Startup. But then there's the Startup Way, which is kind of like, the next step in the sense of, okay, we learned some stuff. We saw what works, what doesn't work. How does the corporate way interact with this? And the Startup Way really brings you a great knowledge about this. But there's more. There's this guy. So one of the things I love about business model design and validation is that you make it more visual. And as you saw, visualization plays a very important part in our work. Dan is one of the great folks that shows you how to draw, even if you're saying, I don't know zilch about drawing, I don't know anything about sketching. But Dan Rome is the guy to show you how visualization makes things much more clearer, sharper, and allows you to get better insights. But we can't leave without this getting a little heavy and me getting another book, which if you're a corporate innovator, maybe you want to consider something by Geoffrey Moore. Geoffrey Moore is well known for, Crossing the Chasm. But this guy here, Zone to Win, talks about how do you develop actually in a corporate the acceleration, the rebellion, the transformation of business models into becoming growth engines. So you'll hear stuff about performance zone, productivity zone, the transformation zone, and the startup zone, the acceleration or incubation zone. Great book. Not a thick one, but it's getting heavy. All right, I read all these books. I don't have to carry that anymore. Now it's your job. See ya.